Hi there, I'm Chin Weng Yan. I'm a student of Computer Science and Information Engineering. I'm going to talking about is emoji a type of language? So, what emoji means for a language? How did this start? Nowadays, it's obvious that a smartphone with a built-in emoji keyboard. In total, there are 2,823 emojis in the Unicode standard as of June 2018. That number continues to increase as Unicode Consortium accepts more into our digital lexicon. There are international varieties that are used in around half of all the social medias. These are emojis, the language of social media that is celebrated every year of 17th July. New York's Empire State Building was lit up in yellow to mark the day, and now many believe it should be classed alongside English and Chinese, Spanish and French as a new language in its own right. It all started with this innocent smiley face made from a colon hyphen and right parenthesis. It began in the early 1980s with a computer scientist as Carnegie Mellon named Scott Fowler Bowman. He used the smiley character as a digital flag to mark funny computerized announcement within the Carnegie Mellon computer science community. From there, other universities caught on and more text face expression began to emerge. As computer science and technology advanced, need of universal standard for text processing arose. A handful of technology companies, Microsoft and Apple included, came together in the early 19th and formed the non-profit organization called the Unicode Consortium. Years later, in October of 2012, the Unicode Consortium released Unicode 6.0, the first version of Unicode standard to contain emojis. Some technology companies have been collecting data to try to better understand the usage of emojis. Facebook noted that there are more than 2,800 emojis in their platform and nearly 2,300 of them are claimed to be used every day. The company cited that over 900 million emoji are sent every day without text or messenger and more than 700 million emoji are being used in Facebook posts every day. Oxford Dictionary even named the Tears of Joy emoji the word of the year in 2015. So, how do we emoji compares to language? Well, the symbols are really no different from the 600 characters Chinese characters. There are pictograms such as Yu, which mean rain in English, the traditional Chinese symbol for the rain. Emojis, however, do not have sound unless you are eccentric enough to say face with tear of joy in everyday life. A dataset showing all the potential semantic meaning and association with specific emoji. Beyond big data analysis, organizational and social psychologists have found that a social group also can influence how emoji are used. They have broken down emoji into two categories, social emotional and task oriented. The pattern which an individual use emoji in social media may be drastically different from the way they use emoji with a friend or a loved one. Although emoji can be used to substitute text, convey a feeling or an idea, neuroscientists have found that our brain don't actually register them as a text. They found that our brain neuron respond to a specific expression. It is nearly identical to the response from a corresponding emoji. Wired is a monthly American magazine published in print and online edition. Therefore, Cliff Thompson writing in Wired, he says that people are actually developing syntax and rule of use for emoji. For example, when we use a face emoji, we tend to put them before objects. According to the linguist and author Gritton McCulloch, they are trying to solve one of the big problems of writing online, which is that you have the words but you don't have the tone of voice. So we can just use emojis. So then, how should we consider emoji collectively? Are they a language? You can send someone a message consisting of emoji, but you probably can't use them themselves as a self-contained way of communicating with people without sooner or later needing to resort to English or another language. In this way, emoji is very different. It forms language like English or more specialist language like British Sign Language or American Sign Language. And this is why most linguists wouldn't say that emoji constitute a language in the strict sense, even though it's impressive how much content people can often manage to communicate using them. However, people do use the word language metaphorically, as is the case when people talk about programming language, body language, and the language of dance, to describe all the sort of code and method of communicating that don't meet all the criteria for a language definition of a language like English, and hence it's not surprising that people also often refer to emoji as a language. So, as my conclusion, I think that this is not the end of written language, instead an interesting and new expansion to digital communication. This is a new layer of emotional nuance. Language is to the mind more than light is to the eye, said by William Gibson. Thanks for your listening. Thank you.